2024 could be described as a momentous one, and as the year draws to a close, Nigeria stands at a critical juncture, reflecting on progress made and challenges that stare the country in the face. New Central will be bringing you a series of reports on Nigeria's key sectors, from the economy to judiciary, healthcare, education and energy, among others, offering in-depth insights and analysis of the major trends, achievements and obstacles that have defined the year. This morning, we begin with the economy, which amid global headwinds continues to demonstrate resilience and at the same time complexities that Nigerians hope will be resolved in 2025 and beyond. New Central's business team, led by Nasir Agbalaya, compiled this report, taking a look at the realities in terms of economic, fiscal policies and access to capital in 2024.
Africa's most populous nation has been grappling with economic challenges of late. Factors like rising inflation, currency devaluation, and security challenges continue to hinder the economy.
Raise the MPR by 25 basis points to 27.50% from 27.25%.
Our issue is not just about just trying to arrest inflation by hiking MPR, because beyond corruption, we also have a lot of mismanagement in the system. One thing is to be saving money, another thing is, on the other hand, wasting money in the name of mismanagement.
In terms of access to capital, the Central Bank of Nigeria has taken steps to improve liquidity in the financial system. The bank has kept the cash reserve ratio unchanged after its last MPC meeting of 2024 and the 9th for this year.
Primarily, it was largely driven by how much stability we are able to maintain in the exchange rate. That is what will be the key driver of inflationary pressure. That's what will attract foreign direct investment. That's what will attract foreign portfolio investment. That's what will create stability in the economy.
President Tinubu had promised 200 billion naira to support SMEs, which we have not been able to independently verify if disbursement has started. However, despite these efforts, access to capital remains a challenge for many businesses, particularly the small and medium-sized enterprises. The high interest rates and stringent collateral requirements from commercial banks have made it difficult for many businesses to access credit.
Very heavily impacted, very negatively impacted. This has shrink our businesses over time. We've not been able to do business as usual again because for one thing, lending has become very difficult. It's now very, very, very expensive to get funding from the banks, and even the banks are now advised to giving out money to the real sector.
Although many pledges have been made to Nigeria, sustainable growth is expected from the energy sector.
I think the thing to realize is that these things take time. So what we've seen is some of the IOCs have exited or are exiting, not exiting totally, but are exiting some of the assets they've held fully or partially, and they're handing over the operatorship of those assets to Nigerians. The expectation is that Nigerians will then work those assets and then get them, for the ones that are not producing optimally, get them producing and then potentially, attract new investments to then increase production. But it takes time.
The Nigerian Senate recently passed the tax reform bills for the second reading. It was forwarded to the lawmakers by President Bola Tinubu in October 2024. The passage followed a debate among lawmakers. This happened despite opposition from governors, lawmakers and traditional rulers from Nigeria's northern region.
I think it's a very, very good economic move. It streamlines tax collections. It allows folks to focus on the operational side, and it will allow this revenue service focus on the fiscal side. President, that we should increase derivation. The way it works in Nigeria is that when we get 100 naira, we share out 40 naira based on the principle of equality. Then 30 naira goes in principle of population. Derivation is just 10% or 10 naira. What Mr. President is now saying is that it's going to increase the share from the federal to the state. So the state will get more money. But in return, he wants to increase the proportion of derivation from the current 10 to, I'm hearing him saying, about 60%. So the state gets more money, but derivation percentage rises in the formula to calculate and share out the federal allocations, what we call FARC. So I think the governors or the North, in quotes, is basically worried that their current revenues is going to go down because it's going to be based on derivation and not on land mass and equality. I think
Nigeria's economy has been on a recovery path, recording a year-to-year gross domestic product growth rate of 3.46% in Q3 2024, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. This represents an improvement from 2.54% in the same period last year, and a slight increase from 3.19% in the previous quarter. But the big question remains: what is driving this growth, and what does it mean for access to capital and economic stability?
The good news is that the Bureau of Statistics is saying this is the growth of the economy in the third quarter. IMF is saying almost the same thing. So it's somehow good for us. I mean, it's either we exceed it based on our own MBS data, or we keep it at that based on the World Bank IMF data.
In conclusion, while Nigeria's economic growth has shown some positive signs in 2024, the country still faces significant challenges, including high inflation and limited access to capital. The government must continue to work to address these challenges and create a more favorable business environment.